Hey guys, look, I thought today that I would just do a drawing. It's not so much a kind of how-to drawing. It's more kind of just a drawing I'm doing for myself of Black Panther, because you guys have probably heard that super sad Chadwick Boseman, who's the actor who plays Black Panther. Died last week of cancer, which really sucks. And so I thought I would I'd just kind of do often I do this when someone dies, like someone who's an artist. I really like to kind of just take a moment and draw something kind of almost in tribute to them. And Black Panther's is a super awesome character, so I thought I'd just do a Black Panther drawing, and you can totally copy along. You can pause. You can do whatever you like. I did a bit of a sketch just before I turned the camera on, just to get kind of some of the general kind of shapes in lightly, so you might be able to see my sketch a little bit in there. Which I just did freehand just to kind of block that in before I inked, which works better on the camera. So, yeah. I've been doing heaps of drawing recently for the odds, which is kind of a different style, and what I'm trying to make sure I still remember to do is just keep drawing for fun. Because that's why I kind of got into this whole thing in the first place, was drawing for fun. And sometimes when drawing then becomes your job, you can kind of forget to also just do it because you enjoy it, you know. So I try to still do that, and so it's kind of fun then to draw in different styles. I don't know if you draw in different styles, if you try different styles. I like to do that. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see sometimes I do quite kind of realistic pencil drawings. I really like working in that style, which I don't kind of work in, right? I haven't done any books in a kind of realistic pencil drawing style. But I find it really fun to kind of draw and see a face or a kind of animal face really kind of come to life. I really like doing that. So I still try to kind of draw for fun. And it's also you're always learning, right? You're always learning as you're following someone else's style or working in a different style. You're seeing how they use lines and shapes, and you're always kind of learning, and then you're kind of absorbing that and picking it up and bringing it into the way that you work. I've not drawn Black Panther before, and so when I'm doing something that I haven't drawn before, I do kind of use reference pictures and things like that, just to try and help me. But I feel like when you create an artwork, or you create something inspired by or drawing on someone else, artwork that someone else has created, there's kind of this kind of connection, right? They've put something out into the world, you're creating. I know lots of you draw my stuff and my characters, and I just think it's awesome. I think it's so great. I don't actually have heaps of ink left in this pen, but that's all right. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you've been creating stuff. If you ever want to send me kind of pictures or stories about anything that you've been creating, I'd love to hear that. I get super inspired by your creativity. I used to draw superheroes a lot when I was at school. Particularly Spider-Man. I used to do Spider-Man a lot. We all used to collect comics for a little while at school. and it was all about Spider-Man. And so I couldn't always afford, like some kids in my class had heaps of money, and so, or their parents had heaps of money, I don't know, but they used to kind of always turn up with all of these cool comics, and I had to save up for my own comics, which is fair enough. But I couldn't always afford them because comics were super expensive, and so instead, I found it kind of cooler and more interesting to learn how to draw these characters, because then you could still kind of be part of it and part of the excitement around all of these cool characters without always kind of being the kid with the brand new comic, you know. Such a cool suit. I would like to write and create like a full superhero story one day. I think that would be really, really cool. Like, I don't feel like there's lots of new superheroes being created, you know? Like, there's kind of all of these superheroes who have existed for a long time, who are really cool. And I kind of feel like it would be great if there were new ones. Because lots of these superheroes, like, they've kind of been modernized, right, to make them more current. But heaps of them are really old. Like, they were created in kind of like a totally different world. And I think, what would it be like to have brand new characters created for now? Alright, I'm just going to kind of put a bit of shading in here, I think. Let's try and block it in a little bit. Make my light source up there, so that's going to give kind of some heavier lines around the brows here. There's been all of these amazing stories, I don't know if you've heard them, about Chadwick Boseman that have kind of come out since he died last week. Excuse me. Just about how kind of cool a guy he was. And how he, well, for a start, like, I don't think many people knew that he had cancer. And so he did all of this cool work while he was actually in heaps of pain and really suffering. And it's just amazing to think about, you know, what some people are going through, right? You just never know. You never know what is going on in a person's life. You never know. Which is why, like, compassion's really important, right? And empathy. This is cross-hatching what I'm doing here. Just kind of a way of creating shadow. These kind of crisscrossed lines. When you're not using a pencil, so you don't, like, a text or a marker is kind of like it's on or off, right? You can't do kind of shades of grey. And so I think I'm pretty much going to leave it here. I think that was fun. So I hope you guys are good. And I hope you're drawing. And if you're looking for something to draw, why don't you draw a picture of Black Panther in honor of Chadwick Boseman for being an absolute legend.